That was the most dominant performance I've seen in the last 10 years. And it's not what you do, it's how you do it and who he did it to. We're talking about the Dallas Mavericks with a front line of Anthony Davis and Derek Lively, two defensive guys, and Victor Wembanyama made them look like young fellas.
40 points, 15 boards, 3 blocks, 0 turnovers in just 30 minutes of action. Victor Wembanyama just declared war on the NBA.
Playing against your dad in the driveway when you're 8 years old. What do you do?
Wemby, 3, you bet! Plus the foul!
And the Dallas Mavericks were the first casualties. Instead of being an official welcome to Dallas moment for Cooper Flagg, the first overall pick and one of the most NBA-ready rookies in years, this game turned into something entirely different, a statement. Not just for San Antonio, but for the entire league. This was a coming out party and an early MVP notice for Victor Wembanyama, who looks ready to dominate basketball's future right now. Anthony Davis, one of the most dominant big men of this century, could only watch from the best seat in the house as Wemby toyed with him. It looked like a varsity athlete playing against a kid in the driveway. Davis' Dallas teammates weren't any better equipped to slow him down, spinning, jumping, and scrambling like they had no idea what they were up against. And over on the Spurs bench, giggling, wide-eyed pros, paid millions to play this game, falling over themselves in disbelief, watching a comic book superhero come to life right in front of them. Because in a way, Victor Wembanyama is a superhero. After the game, he asked with a grin, "It was nice, wasn't it?" If he needed any confirmation, all he had to do was look around. No one in the entire world would disagree. Wemby has returned officially, and the NBA is in awe. The 21-year-old just played his first regular season game since a blood clot ended his season back in February. And the result? Utterly ridiculous. In the Spurs' 125-92 opening night win over the Dallas Mavericks, Wembanyama dropped 40 points, 15 rebounds, and 3 blocks in just 30 minutes, shooting 15 of 21 from the field and 9 of 11 from the line. This was the Wemby everyone dreamed about, a 7'5" basketball maestro completely in control of his powers. After spending the summer facing down a serious health scare and searching for growth around the world, he came back looking calm, focused, and free. As Victor said, "I'm much more in control of myself. The mind, I'm not worried about, because I saw what it was like to be confronted with potentially losing a lot, whether it's your career or your health, so I'm not taking this for granted anymore. The body, I'm having more fun. I'm not struggling to move as much, and I know I still need to get better, and I'm still going to get better." Doctors have cleared him, no more concerns about blood clots, and on Wednesday night, Wemby made sure everyone else in the league knew they're the ones who should be concerned.
Gets it into Wembanyama, guarded by Washington. Wembanyama, the fake, the reverse, and the foul!
He wanted to prove a point. Well, point proven. And that's what made this performance so unreal. After that kind of layoff, Wembanyama didn't need to be this good this fast. He didn't need to turn every lob into a dunk. He didn't need to erase everything Dallas tried near the rim. He didn't need to hit those off-balance, step-back jumpers that no 7'5" human should even be attempting. He could have just been good. Given how long he'd been out, good would have been amazing. Instead, he was damn near perfect. And he came up with the perfect analogy for the process the team is trying to adhere to. Every day, we try to lay a brick to build a huge mansion, and it felt like the job was done for the day. This is what we've been working for. This is what we've struggled for so long, and I just felt like it fits. I felt like I was in my place. And with Wembanyama's new muscle and sharper focus, the Mavericks didn't stand a chance. They started the night with one of the tallest lineups in the league, multiple defenders who've at least made Wemby work before, but not this time. Anthony Davis, a 10-time All-Star and future Hall of Famer, couldn't do anything with the 21-year-old Frenchman's flurry of moves. Neither could 7'1" Derek Lively, or anyone else Dallas tried to double him with. Again, this was just one game, But if this is where Wembanyama's new controlled aggression is headed, the NBA might actually not be ready for what's coming next. Wembanyama finished the night with the most points ever by a Spurs player in a season opener, passing the 39 George Gervin scored back in 1977. He joined Tim Duncan as the only Spurs player ever to post at least 30 points and 10 rebounds in a season opener. And here's the wildest part. He became just the fourth player since 1977-78 to record 40 points and 15 rebounds without a single turnover, all in only 30 minutes. In doing so, the 7'5" Frenchman sent a message to the rest of the NBA. He's back, and somehow, he's better than you remember. The numbers alone were insane, but the way he built that stat line, that's what left everyone's jaw on the floor. He wasn't just dunking everything in sight, though there were plenty of those. He also showed off a new layer to his perimeter game. He attacked the paint with purpose, but when he stepped outside, he looked calm, polished, and deliberate. There was one sequence that perfectly summed up his night. Wembanyama blocks Derek Lively on one end, then casually hits a step back over him on the other end for a 4-point play. It was the moment that broke the game open, and the Mavericks never really recovered after that. For 30 minutes, Wemby was irresistible and unstoppable. And remember, he wasn't facing scrubs. He went head-to-head with Anthony Davis, one of the best defensive players of this era, and made him look ordinary, even took his chain a few times. What stood out most was how intentional everything looked. No wasted motion, no unnecessary dribbles.
Wembanyama working Davis, spinning, taking, hitting, plus the foul.
Every move had a purpose, except maybe when he decided to show off. Like that moment in the second half when he broke out a smooth crossover, created space, and splashed a high arching three right in the defender's face. Here was some of the other gems. A reverse cradle dunk, a step back three and the 4-point play that followed, an isolation move on Anthony Davis where Wemby went between the legs into a step back mid-range jumper for an and one, forcing AD into his fourth foul midway through the second quarter, and then a pair of dunks in transition where he simply outrun everyone, needing maybe 5 strides to cover the full length of the floor. His physical aggression was on another level from anything we saw last season, but what stood out most wasn't just the power, it was patience. He didn't rush anything, he waited, read the defense, and opened up the floor for everyone else. This win was a declaration from the Spurs, proof that an offense built around Wembanyama works, even without starting point guard De'Aaron Fox. It confirmed what everyone suspected. This team will orbit around Victor, and he brings more than enough to justify real postseason expectations. After the game, Stephon Castle summed it up perfectly. He said this game showed how the Spurs have come together over the preseason, how deep they are, how every piece fits. Then he smiled and added one more thing. We got Victor Wembanyama on the team too. But Wemby wasn't listening to the hype too much. Even after a performance like this, he was all business. We needed to make a statement in our locker room. I feel like it's time to take the next step. We're all tired of losing, and that's the truth. It's a humble, grounded response for someone who might be the best player in the league sooner than anyone expects. And for whoever's guarding him, good luck. If you don't send 2 at him, you're probably in trouble. Even then, you still might be in trouble. With 5:28 left in the fourth, Wembanyama spun out of a double team on the right baseline and calmly swished a jumper. That bucket gave him 40 points and put the Spurs up by 30. During one late timeout as the Spurs pulled away, Coach Mitch Johnson told the guys to embrace the mundane. The message was clear: stick to the simple, fundamental things that bring home wins. But when it comes to Victor Wembanyama, mundane is a fool's errand. Just ask his teammates. As the locker room opened to the media after the Wemby-fueled win, Spurs forward Keldon Johnson walked in with a question of his own, one everyone in the building had been asking for the last 2 hours. Honest question, have you ever seen some shit like that in your life? If this was just a preview, then how lucky are the Spurs and the entire NBA? It's even harder to see a defensive solution for Wembanyama now that he's surrounded by teammates who actually know what they're doing. If this had been any other season opener, in any other city, the story of the night would have been about reigning Rookie of the Year, Stephon Castle, who made a rousing statement of his own, running the floor, defending at an elite level, and finishing with 22 points, 7 rebounds and 6 assists. The 2025 second overall pick Dylan Harper came off the bench midway through the first quarter, jump-started the run that put the Spurs in control and added 15 points. Castle, meanwhile, looked every bit like a rising star in his first start at point guard. Filling in for the injured De'Aaron Fox, he shot the ball efficiently and was just 1 block shy of a complete stat line. Castle and Wembanyama either scored or assisted on 42 of San Antonio's 60 first-half points, helping the Spurs take a 9-point lead into the break. If this isn't a glimpse of their extremely bright future, then what is? As Castle explained afterward, it's just a lot of reps, a lot of watching film together. I feel like that helps and gets overlooked a lot. Being able to watch film with a guy you're going to do a lot of pick and rolls with and have a lot of transition buckets definitely helped. Being able to know where he likes the ball at with a double team, where they're going to come from, man, we've been working on that all summer and it's starting to shape itself out. Wembanyama notched perhaps his most impressive highlight of the night during a 10-point third quarter burst, shooting 3 of 4 with 3 rebounds, 2 blocks and 1 steal. He swatted a Derek Lively shot at the rim, sparking a fast break that Castle finished on the other end. A perfect example of their growing chemistry. Limited in the preseason? No problem. Castle just picked up where he left off from his Rookie of the Year campaign. And if that kind of performance becomes normal, if number 2 overall pick Dylan Harper keeps improving at this pace, if De'Aaron Fox returns and shows why the Spurs made him the highest paid player in franchise history, then opponents are in serious trouble, because this team might start making other squads look like school kids. For a franchise that hasn't seen the playoffs in 6 years, what happened Wednesday night was a long time coming. And as Wembanyama said, it's also just the beginning. We've been saying it for years now, but after what we just saw, it's official. The NBA wasn't ready for Victor Wembanyama, and maybe it never will be. If you thought this was wild, just wait until you see what Wemby has in store for the next poor team caught sleeping. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, because we're tracking the rise of a generational talent. And if you enjoyed this video, check out one of these on your screen now.